to the Xfinity Sports Awards. I'm your host, Lisa Bossman. Thank you for tuning in to this live show. We are live right now here on CET Channel 6. I wanted to kick off the show tonight with a couple thank yous. First of all, to our Xfinity Sports Report crew, who has been out to hundreds of games throughout this year. And more importantly, our biggest thank you goes out to the viewers at home who are tuned in right now, as well as tuned into the Xfinity Sports Report all year long. I'm your host, Lisa Bossman, and I will be hosting your show tonight. Now, before we jump into our nominees, let's first talk about the history of the Xfinity Sports Awards. This all stems from the Xfinity Sports Report, which is a sports highlight show that's local here in Utah that we do every Sunday night at 6 and 10 p.m. and it also airs throughout the entire week. We cover hundreds of sports, every event, every season, boys, girls, you name it, we are there. Now, with the Xfinity Sports Report, our Director of Programming, Brett Hatch, here at Comcast decided to have an award show where we highlight not only some of our favorite athletes, but also some of our favorite performances and coaches and teams. It was successful out in Denver 4 years ago, so they decided to bring it here last year. It was successful last year, so we are back again this year. One of my favorite things about not only hosting the show, but just being a part of the show is getting to check out some of my favorite plays over and over again, and most of these plays are stemming from the nominees you'll be checking out here tonight. Speaking of nominees, it's about time we jump into announcing our first nominees here on the Xfinity Sports Awards. However, first I wanted to give a little bit of background on how these winners are chosen. For the last month and a half, the public has been voting for your Xfinity Sports Award nominees. We have had thousands of voters, so thank you. And now it's time to announce the winners. There's been some very close calls, even some within 2 votes, but the winners have been decided. So let's check out your first nominee for your most outstanding performance by a female athlete.
2018 Most Outstanding Performance for Girls. Caroline Stringfellow, Syracuse Soccer. It's not every day you find a player with the skills of soccer forward Caroline Stringfellow, and you certainly don't see it often from a freshman. Stringfellow led the Titans in goals scored all year long. However, her greatest performance came during the UHSAA state playoffs. During the first round, Stringfellow netted 4 goals in just the first half, easily moving her team past West Jordan to the next round. Jamie Shepard, American Fork Soccer. Jamie Shepard, 2017 Miss Soccer, 2017 Utah Valley Girls Soccer Player of the Year, and BYU commit, has been successful all year long aside her Lady Cavemen. However, her biggest chance to shine took place in the UHSAA state championship game against Syracuse. Despite being down 1-0 at the half, American Fork would take off. After drawing even, Shepard would cap off her junior season with a go-ahead goal to help capture the win over Syracuse and the state title. Sadie Sargent, North Summit Cross Country. Being from a small school hasn't slowed down cross-country star Sadie Sargent from North Summit. The senior is ready to make waves one last time this season, and she has already proven that she has what it takes. During this year's BYU Autumn Classic, Sargent cruised through the course in only 17 minutes and 17.6 seconds, a shock to no one as they watched from behind.
And your most outstanding performance by a female athlete goes to Jamie Shepard, American Fork Soccer.
Rachel just took it down the sideline and slotted it back, and Addie, I told her to leave it, and I was right in front of the goal, just an easy setup and just one tap, one touch into the goal.
You went into the half down 1-0. What did your coach tell you?
He told us that we got it. We've been down many times in the season and have come back and have been just fine, and if we just play, he just told us to just play our game, and if we do, then we'll be fine.
What does the championship mean to you?
It means everything. It's a dream come true. it really is just so fun to be able to win it with the team and such a great team and a coach that believed in us this whole season, and it's just awesome.
Congratulations to Jamie Shepard, a very deserving athlete for this award. And guess what? She's only a junior, so she'll be back again for you to watch next year. We now introduce you to the most outstanding performance by a male athlete.
2018 Most Outstanding Performance for Boys. Nathan Upham, Skyridge Football. Sometimes the best performances are record-setting, but other times they come in just a moment. Nathan Upham had 2 of these moments. The Skyridge Falcons trailed the heavily favored Corner Canyon Chargers nearly the entire game in the 5A UHSAA football semifinal. But in the final minute, Upham would haul in 2 massive catches, including the game-winning touchdown to send the Falcons to the championship game. Christian Simon, Cottonwood Swimming. In the 5A UHSAA State Championship swim meet, Christian Simon dominated in the pool. He won 3 gold medals and secured points for his team by placing first in the men's 50-yard freestyle, the 100-yard freestyle, and anchoring the men's 400-yard freestyle relay. The senior really emerged in the 400 free relay, jumping into the pool with his team playing catch-up, but Simon had no problem, clawing back the distance, swimming a 45.72 anchor leg to grab his team the win and the hardware. Matt Norman, Timpanogos Basketball. Matt Norman only averaged 12 points per game during the season, but that didn't matter in Timpanogos' UHSAA State Championship quarterfinal game against East. The junior guard exploded, going 13 of 15 from the floor. Norman was unstoppable behind the arc, netting 8 3-pointers, including 4 backbreakers in the third quarter alone. He would cap off the night with a season high of 34 points, leading his team past the Leopards, advancing to the semifinal round.
And your winner for Most Outstanding Performance by a Male Athlete, Christian Simon, Cottonwood Swimming.
Meet has been a lot of fun. I know a lot of people here, lots of friends that are on my club team that are on different teams. We all cheer each other on and race each other. I usually get behind the block, think about the race where I know I'm going to be tired and I know I'm going to want to start backing off, but I can't. And you just got to keep pushing and pushing until you finally hit the wall.
Congratulations once again to your Most Outstanding Performance by a Male Athlete, Christian Simon. What a way to represent Cottonwood Swim. We have our first break here on the Xfinity Sports Awards. Thank you for tuning in to this live show. When we return, we get into our most outstanding teams. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to the Xfinity Sports Awards. We are live right now on CET Channel 6. I'm your host, Lisa Bossman. Thank you for tuning in. I've had a lot of fun this season getting to know a whole lot of coaches and a whole lot of athletes. One of my favorite things, though, was having them in studio here for the Xfinity Sports Report. Now that I mention it, most of our teams that were nominated for Outstanding Team made it into the studio this year. So let's say hi to them one last time as we check out our nominees, starting with Most Outstanding Girls Team. Let's take a look at our nominees.
2018 Most Outstanding Girls Team. Cottonwood Swimming. The Cottonwood girls swimming team dominated in the pool last season, led by Swimmer of the Year and University of Alabama commit Ryan White. The Colts had no problem showing off every time they got in the pool. During the UHSAA state championship meet, it was no different, picking up points in every event. The Colts would win the state meet by more than 100 points, racking up a grand total of 320 points overall. Their impressive season paid off in full as they grabbed the 5A UHSAA state championship over 2017 champion Skyline. Salem Hills basketball. Despite entering the UHSAA state tournament as the second seed, the Salem Hills Skyhawks were undoubtedly the best team in all of 4A in the state. Led by Miss Basketball Lauren Gustin, the Skyhawks avenged its only loss at the hands of region rival Mountain View. Mountain View would not make it to the state championship game to determine the winner of the rubber match, so Salem Hills tore through the opposition and captured the state title. West softball. The Panthers put their name on the map last season, winning the school's first UHSAA softball state title. This year, the Panthers are set again to vie for that second coveted title. West has already started hot this season, returning to its winning ways, including 5 wins against teams from across the nation. It's hard to see West not continue that in region play, led by strong play from the Bats. Led by first-team senior Jasmine Rollin and the 5A MVP Hunter Ava, the Panthers are once again dominating the softball scene. Copper Hills Drill. Copper Hills Drill team has dominated the drill scene in Utah for the past 6 years. The Azorettes came into the 2017-2018 season as 5-time defending UHSAA state champions and were heavily favored to win a 6th. Moving up to the new 6A classification brought new competition into the view as the Azorettes. Unlike the previous year, it was a photo finish to the end after splitting 2 categories with longtime rival Bingham. However, thanks to their precision and creativity, the Azorettes would once again reign supreme, winning their 6th championship title. American Fork Soccer. It was clear American Fork girls soccer would be phenomenal this season after bringing back power players like junior Addison Holmstead and sisters Jamie and Josie Shepard. However, the Lady Cavemen went above and beyond this season. With only 1 loss, the team wound up right back in the playoffs, a place it has been 5 years in a row. This time it would be different. During the semifinal game, Rachel McCarthy would net the overtime goal, sending American Fork to the championship game against Syracuse, where the Lady Cavemen would come back at the half after being down 1-0 to finish the year strong with 3 goals and the championship win.
And your winner for Most Outstanding Girls Team goes to Copper Hills Drill.
Pretty good. It was tough. Everyone is a great competitor. And awards were scary, but I knew my team could push through and we'd won.
I'm so excited. It feels so good to win with the girls I love, do what we love, everything. It's just so awesome.
6-time champs, you can't get much better than that. Copper Hills dominates the drill scene year after year, and I already can't wait to see what kind of show they put on next year. Now, here are your nominees for Most Outstanding Boys Team.
2018 Most Outstanding Boys Team. Park City Golf. What better than 9 state titles in a row? How about 10? The Park City boys golf team has been on their A game for more than a decade and have no plans to slow down anytime soon. This year's Parker Cutt, Jack Wright, and Eli Kimchi all placed in the top 10 individuals to give Park City a total of 608 points and name them the UHSAA state champs for the 10th year running. Pleasant Grove Wrestling. Pleasant Grove Wrestling has a reputation as the team to beat for years, 6 to be exact. Last year, Layton would do the job and knock Pleasant Grove out of the top spot in the UHSAA state championships. With a chip on its shoulder, the Vikings came back in 2017-2018 stronger than ever, scoring a total of 283 points. 80.5 points ahead of second place Layton, led by two-time defending champs William Cole Zorn and Micah Tautioli, both securing titles. Olympus basketball. After losing last year in overtime in the state championship game, the Olympus Titans came into the 2017-2018 season on a mission. The Titans were unstoppable this year with an unblemished 27-0 record. Led by guards Rylan Jones and Jeremy Dowdell, the Titans averaged 85 points per game. With the dominant starting five, there wasn't a team in 5A that could match up against the Titans. In the UHSAA state tournament, Olympus breezed through each round, beating all of their opponents by more than 20 points. The state championship game was no different as they sailed to a 76-49 victory over Corner Canyon to put another state title in their trophy case and finish out the season in perfect fashion. Mission accomplished. Springville Cross Country. The Red Devils of Springville made school history in 2017 by taking home their very first cross-country state championship. With 4 runners finishing in the top 7, the Devils ran circles around the competition. Springville would sprint to a team gold with 40 points, 15 ahead of the number 2 spot. Lone Peak basketball. The Lone Peak basketball team has been a force for years, and the 2017-2018 season was no exception. Having only dropped games to out-of-state competition, some of the finest in the nation, the Knights were dominant on the 6A court in Utah. Lone Peak beat region rivals Pleasant Grove 3 times, including the state championship game. The Knights would go on to be nationally recognized and play in the Geico Nationals.
And your winner for Most Outstanding Boys Team, Springville Cross Country.
And it just proves that we have a good bid at being first at XR and have a good bid at NXN and really proving ourselves there.
Springville Cross Country showing up for their school and keeping Springville on the map. What an impressive season by the Red Devils. We have another break coming at you right now here on the Xfinity Sports Awards. When we return, you get to meet your nominees for Most Outstanding Coach of the Year. That's up next. Hi and welcome back to the Xfinity Sports Awards. I am your host Lisa Bossman and we are live right now on CET Channel 6. Now I want to tell a quick story as we get into these next nominees. Heading into high school, I played 2 different sports, basketball and soccer. And while heading into high school, my mom made me decide on which sport I would like to pursue as I start thinking about maybe going into a college. Now, even though I'm tall and definitely meant to be a basketball player, I decided on soccer. Why? Because I had one of the top coaches in the state. He was encouraging and led us through some of the hardest games of my life. So this next category goes to all of the coaches who had the same effect on their players. Let's check out your nominees for your Coach of the Year. Girl.
Coach of the Year, Boys Team, presented by Gatorade. Jason Crawford, Cottonwood Baseball. Despite losing nearly every starter in its lineup, the undefeated Cottonwood Colts are heavy favorites to repeat as the 5A UHSAA state champs. With a cast made up of mostly juniors and sophomores, Coach Jason Crawford has molded his team into one of the toughest squads on the diamond. The truest measure of a coach is developing the next wave of players to step in when his number is called. Ed Larson, Lehigh Football. Since taking over as head coach, Ed Larson has led Lehigh Football from pushovers to competitors to champions. In the 2017 season, the Pioneers leverage a potent offense to stand out as one of the most complete teams in the Beehive State. Preaching never to play at the level of their opponents, Lehigh went undefeated in region with a scoring differential of 206-45. Using that momentum, Larson guided his team to cruise through the playoffs and take the UHSAA state title. John Lamborn, Bingham football. The Bingham Miners have just seen its second straight undefeated season of Utah football thanks to stellar coaching from John Lamborn. For years, the tough love style of coaching has resonated with his athletes, and his every player, every play mentality has paid off with back-to-back UHSAA state championships and national recognition. Todd Etherington, Brighton Swimming. Brighton Swimming head coach Todd Etherington has a reputation that precedes him. He's one of the best swim coaches in Utah. Etherington has led the Bengals to 7 UHSAA state championships, including 6 consecutive. Coach Etherington is the driving force behind his team, helping 11 swimmers make it to the state meet and coaching them to another state title. This year, Etherington was honored as 5A Coach of the Year and recognized by the Cottonwood Heights City Council for his contributions to his community.
And your Coach of the Year for boys teams, Ed Larson, Lehigh football.
I don't know if I have much to say right now. I'm just excited. I just look at this, and I just think this is awesome.
This one was not surprising. Larson blew it out of the water with voting this year, so a big congratulations to Ed, and I can't wait to see what the Lehigh football team is capable of next year. Let's now check out your nominees for Coach of the Year girls teams.
Coach of the Year, girls teams. Alusa Solovi, East basketball. When coach Alusa Solovi took over East High School girls basketball, the program did a complete 180-degree turn. In his second year as head coach, Solovi guided the Leopards to a 23-2 record. Coach Solovi instilled a winning mentality in his girls, changed their mindset, and made them believe in themselves. In the UHSAA state tournament, East ran through teams including the region rival Highland and powerhouse Viewmont to earn themselves a spot in the 5A championship game. The Leopards would destroy their opponent, Tempview, by 20 points to capture its first 5A state girls basketball title in school history. Liz Wiscombe, Morgan Volleyball. Morgan Volleyball is a team that nobody wants to see in a championship game. It could be because they clinched their third straight UHSAA state championship this year, or it could be the fact that they haven't lost a 3A match since 2014. Either way, it is clear that the team is being led by the best coach Morgan has ever seen, Liz Wiscombe. Named 2016's Governor State of Sport Coach of the Year, Wiscombe has coached her girls through thick and thin, and one thing is certain, they always end up on top. Lisa Dalebout, Fremont basketball. Fremont girls basketball coach Lisa Dalebout has always been known for her intensity, but this year that same trait rubbed off onto her team in the best way possible. Dalebout had plenty of new talent pouring into the Silver Wolves court, including freshman post player Emma Calvert. Her coaching of Calvert and the rest of the Wolves led the girls to a 6A UHSAA state championship where they would take home the trophy, clinching their first basketball title in school history. Reed Carlson, Lone Peak Volleyball. In the past 2 years, Lone Peak Volleyball coach Reed Carlson pushed his team from a top 5 team to the best team in the state of Utah. The Lady Knights went 25-4 in the 2017 season, beating teams like Bingham, American Fork, and Pleasant Grove during the regular season. In the UHSAA State Championship Tournament, Lone Peak made easy work of their opponents, not dropping a set in the first 3 rounds. In their final game of the season, the Knights once again got the best of region rival Pleasant Grove, taking the game 3-2. Coach Carlson was able to keep his team focused in the final game, despite the match taking place at 11 o'clock at night, helping them clinch their second straight volleyball title.
And your Coach of the Year for girls teams, Liz Wiscombe, Morgan Volleyball.
Never takes one. In volleyball, it takes a whole team to get here, and that's the way Morgan High, that's how we roll.
If you haven't met her, you are missing out. Coach Wiscombe has a smile that never leaves her face, and not losing a 3A set since 2014. Beat that. Congratulations, Liz. We have another break here on the Xfinity Sports Awards, but stay tuned because when we return, we wrap up with your nominees of Athlete of the Year. Hi and welcome back to the Xfinity Sports Awards. Thank you for sticking around and tuning into this live show. Now we've announced your Performance of the Year, your Coach of the Year, and your Team of the Year, which only leaves one more thing, and it might be the biggest of all. It's your Athlete of the Year. So right now let's check out your 2018 Utah Female Athlete of the Year nominees.
Utah Female Athlete of the Year: Mercedes Staples, Viewmont Basketball. Mercedes Staples of Viewmont was dominant all season long and head and shoulders above everyone. Averaging more than 18 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and nearly 3 steals, Staples had fans across Utah in awe every time she stepped on the court. She was definitely the key to the factor for the Vikings to make a run at the 5A UHSAA State Championship and will continue her basketball journey at Clemson, one out of 15 schools who have offered her a spot at their school this fall. Maddie Robinson, Lone Peak Volleyball. Senior outside hitter Maddie Robinson led the Lone Peak Knights volleyball team to their second straight UHSAA State Championship with 450 kills, 42 blocks, and 230 digs on the season. In the 6A UHSAA State Championship game, it was business as usual for Robinson, coming through at crucial moments for the Knights, leading the team with 18 kills, leading her team to a 3-2 victory over region rival Pleasant Grove and earning tournament MVP. Robinson not only worked hard on the court, but in the classroom as well, maintaining a stellar 3.9 GPA. Robinson's hard work earned her the opportunity to play for BYU in the fall. Heather Knighting, Pleasant Grove Volleyball. Pleasant Grove Volleyball is a team everyone fears. Most of the fear comes from middle blocker Heather Knighting. The BYU recruit and 2017 Miss Volleyball boasted 219 kills, 38 solo blocks, and 101 total blocks on the season. Knighting's final season of her high school career was a special one, having earned All-American honors from Under Armour and a trip to the UHSAA State Championship game. Emily Astle, Alta Tennis. When thinking of Utah high school tennis, it's hard not to think of Alta sensation Emily Astle. Astle, a junior, dominated the 2017 season, winning 25 matches. In the 5A UHSAA State Tournament, she went in as the heavy favorite, having captured the first single UHSAA state titles the previous 2 years. On her way to her third consecutive state championship, Astle did not drop a set, finishing off the tournament with a 6-3, 6-1 win over Olympus senior Emma Jewell. Astle has verbally committed to play tennis for BYU when she graduates next year.
And your 2018 Utah Female Athlete of the Year goes to Maddie Robinson, Lone Peak Volleyball.
Gotta win it, so not leaving, I gotta win. After the third set, I was really mad. I don't know, just people are like kind of like being okay with being down 2-1, and I said I don't want to go out like this. I want to go out swinging as hard as we possibly can, and we did. And everybody started coming. Like the fourth set, we did a little bit better, and then fifth set, we really started to play well, and that was really exciting. And then we won, and it felt great.
Lone Peak Volleyball with a fantastic season for the past 2 years in a row, led by Maddie Robinson, and of course a big help by Coach Reed Carlson, Maddie's coach since 8th grade. Now let's check out your final nominees of the night. It's your 2018 Utah Male Athlete of the Year.
Utah Male Athlete of the Year. Cameron Cooper, Lehigh Football. This year's Mr. Football and next year's Washington State quarterback, Cameron Cooper broke a Utah record nearly every time he stepped on the gridiron. Throwing for 4,726 yards and 58 touchdowns with a passer rating of 122.3, Cooper was unstoppable, leading the Lehigh Pioneers to a 5A UHSAA state title, trouncing the competition along the way. Brock Hardy, Box Elder Wrestling. Athletes like Brock Hardy only come along once in a while. In Hardy's case, he is one of only 20 total in Utah history. Hardy of Box Elder Wrestling was crowned a 4-time UHSAA state champion to cap off his senior season, finishing with a 46-0 record, and of course, he did it in style with a pin at 3 minutes into the championship match. Not only is Hardy a 4-time state champ, but also has a title of national champion under his belt. Olympian doesn't seem a far leap for Hardy to add to his title. Rylan Jones, Olympus Basketball. Olympus star point guard Rylan Jones shined in the 2017-2018 season, leading his team to a perfect 27-0 record. His capability to read the game, combined with his unselfish play, spread the Titans' offense, making them dangerous from everywhere on the floor. Named Deseret News Mr. Basketball, Jones, a junior, finished the season averaging 19 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. En route to a Titans 76-49 UHSAA state championship victory over Corner Canyon, Jones did not miss a beat, leading his team to a redemptive win in storybook fashion while earning himself a scholarship to play basketball at the University of Utah when he graduates. Aiden Troutner, Timpview Cross Country. Just a year removed from Utah boasting one of the finest runners in the nation, Utah does it again, this time in the form of Timpview's Aiden Troutner. The BYU-bound senior not only tore up the UHSAA State Cross Country meet, but also snagged the gold at the Nike National Meet and the Gatorade Runner of the Year. Look out for him on the track this spring as the heavy favorite for the 1600 and 3200.
And your 2018 Utah Male Athlete of the Year goes to Brock Hardy, Box Elder Wrestling. I could not think of a wrestler more deserving than Brock Hardy, and you never know, you just might be seeing this kid in the Olympics here soon. We have our final timeout here on the Xfinity Sports Awards. When we return, we will look at our final wrap-up of the nominees. Up next. Hi and welcome back to the Xfinity Sports Awards. We are live right now on CET Channel 6. Thank you for sticking around. We're going to wrap up the show here in just a couple moments. First, I wanted to give a couple big thank yous to everybody who has made this Xfinity Sports Awards show happen, as well as the Xfinity Sports Report. Starting off with Brett Hatch, our Director of Programming, also our production crew here on the Ingram Sports Production Network, and of course, none of it would be possible without Jeff Ingram himself, the owner. So a big thank you to our CET Sports crew, Brett and Jeff, for making this whole show possible. Now, this will wrap up the show tonight. Thank you for tuning in live to our CET program. You can catch this episode throughout the next few weeks here on Channel 6. I'm Lisa Bossman. Thank you for watching, and we will leave you with one more look at your nominees that we've honored here tonight. Have a good night.